I'm back in my favorite beer. I'm here to see if they need fed or if they drew out their comb. I don't know. Today's date is the 28th or 29th. We never got back to feed them since the last video. That was 17th of May. So they only ever got 4 gallons, but it was right on the verge of a honey flow. So I should have fed them again, but I didn't have time, so I put it off. Tomorrow night they go to blueberry pollination. So the chance of being able to find them and feed them is pretty slim. But the honey flow, they'll finish to draw out their comb. So I'm going to put a honey super on these tomorrow and strap them and move them tomorrow night. So it's, I'm all done feeding. This was my last chance to get this box drawn out on syrup, and now I'll lose honey to drawing comb. I can't feed it once the honey super's on because I'll have syrup in my honey super, and I don't want that. So that's it. So the rest of the hive, the rest of the foundations will get drawn, and I'm gonna lose honey because of that. It's somewhere's around 8 pounds of honey for a pound of wax. So, I would have lost 40 pounds of honey to draw out this box of foundations. So it was great that I had the time to use syrup and not lose honey. So this is the 9th frame, the one that was against the feeder. They could have done more. I should have fed more. I didn't have time, just didn't have the time. That's the back side of that one. Where this is all empty, they just ran out of calories. This has got to be full for them to draw comb. So the next frame in looks good. Again, it's light up here in the corners. I would have liked to fit another gallon. So I guess 5 gallons would have probably done it. That's all eggs and brood. This one is starting to have that honey crown that I would have liked to see on all of them. So I think another gallon would have done it, and I had lots of time because they were taking a gallon like every 2 days, and it's been at least 10 days since I've been here. This would have been the comb I provided. Yeah, there's cells on the bottom. All that means is I got to get my honey super on. So this colony is a little strong. It's I get a honey super on there, they'll stop that. It's just hatching out there now, or emerging. The bees are just emerging now. So I put this on the 6th of May. So she must have went right at it for it to be emerging now. I'm pretty sure it's the 28th of May. This would have been the frame of honey. That last one was empty comb. This would have been the honey. They've moved the honey. Pollination strength is 5 frames of brood and a box of bees. And this is clearly over that. The bottom box was a box of bees when I made the split with 5 frames of brood. And at the end of May, they assessed colony strength. So at the 1st of May, I was pollination strength. I could probably split this again, and I could have, I can run out almost both halves. I have enough brood that I could easily run out the bottom half and the top half. There, I tore some drone brood. Brand new foundations. They're really nice, brand new foundations, beautiful. This makes this colony very healthy. Double brood box management, they raise their brood in the fall in the bottom box. As you feed it, they backfill this top box, and then over winter they move up as they eat the honey, and they really overwinter in this top box. Well, this colony will winter on all brand new comb, except for the 2 comb that I originally gave it. So it makes for a very healthy colony. Now the bottom box, it's old comb, but it's not very old. But it's going to winter on this brand new comb. So, there's a way to keep your bees on new comb. This is all eggs. So we're really over pollination strength here. However, this colony, I know where it's going. It's going to an area that is full of wild apple trees, large, massive trees, loaded with blossoms. This is the outside frame. So this is frame number 9. Another gallon would have easily finished this, but we seen that swarm cell, so it might have been too much. I'd like to, I'm done feeding it. I'd love right now to be able to have another comb or 2 to drop in there, but I don't. They'll draw it on the honey, and if they don't, they'll draw it on the syrup this fall when I feed it. So yeah, this is way too strong for pollination strength. Like if you're trying to milk your bees for every penny, and it's strength, pollination strength. There's a standard there. Like this is way over the standard, and I can get away with taking this box off and renting out 2 hives instead of 1. So if you really want to milk your bees and get as much profit as possible, I could do that. But this colony, like I said, is going to a yard full of wild apple trees. It's peaking right now, so if I put on some honey supers, the apple blossoms last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So I'm going to make a deep box of apple blossom honey on this colony while it's out to pollination. So I'm getting paid for the colony, and I'm making a box of honey. So that's fine by me. And people know that I have really good, strong colonies. I've seen hives that people rent out to pollination, and they're a box of bees and 3 frames of brood. So imagine their surprise when they see the activity in front of the entrance on my colonies that I rent out. I've never had a single complaint. I know people that would not rent colonies this strong on purpose, because it's we get $200 for pollination, and well, this is a yard of 16, and You know, I could have twice as much here. But I'm really happy to have the brand new box of drawn comb for my bees to winter on. Healthy bees this year are healthy bees next year. So I'm not wintering my bees on that old comb down below. There's at least 5 years old. But I'm always making splits and taking the top box away. So my bees are always on new comb. Really healthy bees. So what I like about double brood boxes, they're so easy to manage. These are great looking colonies. They're a little bit too strong. So I know they're too strong. And what that means is it will swarm eventually. It's going to swarm. Even you can stack on all the honey supers you want. It's going to swarm. Like, look at the brood in this thing. It's going to fill. Well, I put a deep box on this tomorrow. There's more than enough brood to fill that box. So I'm going to have to put more than a single box on it. There's a cell in there. So it's going to swarm. But I make up my winter nukes in July. So the brood here, the brood is in here to do that with. So in just a month's time, I'm going to make my nukes to overwinter. See, there's a cell. And that's in a supersedure cell. It's in a weird spot. She's probably down below busy working, laying up the bottom box. She obviously spent the last 3 weeks in this box. Tomorrow I will go through all this and look for cells before I super it. So to stop that swarming, I'm going to look at it through June, watch out the pollination. Maybe even tomorrow, if I have some comb, if I can find it, I might pull some brood, drop in that empty comb, but I'll definitely do it at the 1st of July. And so then your nuke, it's wintering on brand new comb. So to control the swarming that this colony will definitely do in July, I'll take a nuke from it. And the nuke's on new comb, and this colony will be on new comb going in the winter. And the nuke will have a brand new queen, and this may get a brand new queen. I'll just keep an eye on it. You know, she's great right now, but I'll just keep an eye on it next year, or for next year, when I make that nuke in July. I haven't been keeping bees very long, but I can tell you now that comb is not what it used to be, say, 20 years ago. Guys that have been keeping bees 20 years still hanging on to their old comb, thinking, you know, it's great comb. Well, it used to be 20 years ago. 20-year-old comb used to be okay, but the pesticides that this colony is going to see over the next month, you know, it's poison. Pesticides are meant to kill anything. I don't care if it's a fungicide or a herbicide. It's meant to kill. So comb's not what it used to be. They didn't have those chemicals 20 years ago when those 20-year veteran beekeepers were first starting out. I see some pretty old comb on YouTube, and it's, you know, it's time to throw it out. It's so easy to replace your comb. next spring, that lower box will be empty. The bees will be up in this new one. And if I want, I can just take that lower box off in March before the bees start using it and just throw it out. The colony is up here in all brand new comb.